Nothing became India's fastest growing smartphone brand. In the second quarter of 2025, when the entire Indian smartphone market grew by just 7%, Nothing grew by around 85%, which is highest of any brand in the country. And not just one quarter, but it's being the fastest growing brand for 7 of last 8 quarters. It crossed $1 billion in lifetime sales, sold 7 million devices, and grabbed around 3% of market share. But here is the wildest part of all. Nothing did all of this without owning a single factory and with a war chest that's laughably tiny compared to its rivals. And if you think Nothing is just another smartphone brand with good marketing, then you need to look at this. Because while Samsung India was growing at just 6% in 2024, Nothing was growing at 577%. While Xiaomi was struggling to hold on to volume share, Nothing's CMF Phone 1 was selling out within minutes of going live. While Apple was fighting to cross 4% market share in India, Nothing had already crossed 3% market share and growing at 85% year on year even in quarter 2 of 2026. So the question that we are going to discuss in this episode is that how on earth did a tiny and factory-less company crack the most brutal market in the world? What is the transparent design play that let it survive where Micromax and LG died? Why did it just make a risky jump to an $800 flagship? And most importantly, can it survive the coming war against Xiaomi and Samsung, or will it become just another name in the graveyard? To understand how special Nothing's story is, you first need to understand why building a smartphone is so brutally hard. And the reason is not what you think. It's not about designing a good phone or building a great team. It's about something invisible, the supply chain. Let me explain. When Carl Pei started Nothing, he did what any other founder would do. Designed a phone and went to world's biggest manufacturer, the Foxconn, to build their phone. And Foxconn clearly said no. And their logic was simple and cold. They said, dozens of brands came before you with money and talent, and every single one of them failed miserably. And we lost money making phones for those dead brands. So why should we trust you? Do you realize what this means? In smartphone business, having a great product on paper is not enough. You have to convince entire ecosystem, the factories, the component suppliers, and the assembly lines that you are worth betting on. And after being burned by Essential, Nextbit, and Amazon's Fire Phone, the supply chain had slammed its door shut on newcomers. And this invisible wall is what actually kills most smartphones startups before they begin. So the first genius of Carl Pei was that he did not try to smash through this wall. He found a clever way around it and made a brilliant pivot. Using a small and lower risk product, he chose Earbuds. In July 2021, Nothing launched the Earphone 1 Earbuds, and they worked brilliantly. They sold hundreds of thousands of units and instantly established Nothing as a legitimate and credible electronic brand. But here is the key insight. The earbuds was never the goal. They were a wedge, and once Nothing proved it could ship a great product at scale, suddenly the manufacturers and suppliers were willing to talk. Now, does that strategy sounds familiar to you? Well, it should, because one of the greatest company in the world did the same exact thing. When Elon Musk wanted to build electronic cars for masses, he did not started with cheap cars for everyone. He started with a Roadster, $100,000 sports car for the rich enthusiasts. Low volume, but it proved one thing, that Elon Musk can build an electronic car that actually works. And that credibility unlocked the Model S, then the Model X, and finally the mass market Model 3, which was the goal all along. Now, getting into the market is one thing, but surviving against Apple and Samsung is completely different beast. And this is where Carl Pei's sharpest insight comes in. He said that building a technology moat takes decades and enormous amount of money. Think about how Apple spent 15 years building its own custom silica, or how Nvidia spent 20 years dominating GPUs. So for a tiny startup with $450 million simply does not have enough time or money to win this game. And even if nothing tried to reach out Apple or Samsung, it would have died instantly. But Carl Pei realized that there is another kind of moat that can be built fast and cheap, a visual moat, a design identity so instantly recognizable that people can spot it instantly. For example, if you see this logo, you instantly know that it's MACD, or if you see this, this and this, you know what brand they are associated with. And this is the same exact strategy that Nothing used to differentiate its product in the market where dozens of other products are already available. Because every single phone looked identical. A back glass slab with a camera bump on the corner. You could put 10 Android phones on the table and all of them almost looks identical. So Carl Pei made a deliberate and radical choice to make Nothing's phone looks different. Carl Pei gave the Nothing's phone a transparent back, so you can see the screws, the coils and the internal guts of the device. And he added the glyph interface, those strips of LED lights on the back that glows for notifications, timers and charging. So that when you see Nothing phone, you can instantly know that it's Nothing phone. And then he layered on marketing the smartphone world has never seen before. Instead of boring corporate ads, Nothing did limited community edition drops. Just 1,000 units of one special phone which sold out within a few minutes. It launched a phone through a YouTube vlog with Cassie Neistat. And in India, Carl Pei leaned into cultural so hard that he literally changed his ex name to Carl Pei. And the community loved following it. And the results? Samsung's average customer is 45-year-old, whereas Nothing's average customer is 26. And this is not an accident. Carl Pei deliberately built a brand for young generation that see through its phone as a piece of self-reflection, like a fashion accessories, not just a tool. Carl Pei described this strategy so beautifully. He said that he is not playing the chess, he is playing Go. In chess, you attack head-on, and whoever has the biggest army wins. And against Apple or Samsung, Nothing would have lose that fight. But in Go, you don't attack head-on. You quietly surround the board, build influence, and take the territory over the time. Which is why Nothing isn't trying to outmuscle Apple. It's building something Apple cannot easily copy. A cult brand with design language that an entire generation identify with. Now let's talk about pricing, because this is where story gets really interesting. Because a smartphone market is not one single market. It's actually 4 or 5 different segments stacked on top of each other by price. Let me break it down. At the bottom, under 15 or 20,000 rupees, you have brands like Xiaomi, Realme, Oppo or Vivo. Massive volume but razor thin margin. And at very top, above 50,000 rupees, is Apple and Samsung territory, huge margin but almost impossible for newcomers to break into this segment because brand loyalty is so strong. And in the middle, from 20,000 to 50,000 rupees is affordable premium segment. And this is a sweet spot where you can get both decent margin and brand credibility. Now, Carl Pei had run this same exact strategy once before at OnePlus, the company he co-founded in 2013. And this is the ghost that haunts the entire Nothing's story. OnePlus became legendary as flagship killer. It launched at 22,000 rupees when Samsung flagship cost 45,000 rupees. It gave people flagship power at the half price and people loved it. But then slowly, OnePlus started creeping up. 30,000 rupees, then 50,000, then 70,000 rupees. And in doing so, it lost the very soul that made it special. The flagship killer became just another expensive flagship. And the loyal community felt betrayed and abandoned. And Carl Pei watched this happen to the company he built with his own hands. So at Nothing, he tried to run a smart version. Instead of creeping up, he expanded into the both direction at once. After Nothing's Phone 1 at premium end, he launched the Phone 2A at just 20 to 24,000 rupees through a sub-brand called CMF. Now the question is, why go cheaper? Because this is where the massive volume is, and it worked spectacularly. And because of this affordability factor, the CMF Phone 1 became Nothing's biggest selling product ever, selling 1 lakh unit in just 3 hours in India alone. But then in 2025, Nothing did something that made a lot of people very nervous. It launched the Phone 3 around 80,000 rupees or $799 globally. A big jump from the Phone 2. And with this, Nothing walked straight into Lion's Den, going head on head against iPhone and Galaxy's S series. And this is where it got very risky. Because at that premium price point, Apple alone holds around 70% of the market. And the Phone 3 received mixed reviews. Critics pointed out that it used slightly stepped down process instead of the absolute top end chip, and it got caught in embarrassing controversy for using stock photos in its promotional material. So the big scary question became, is this the beginning of the exact same price creep death spiral that killed the soul of OnePlus? Is Nothing about to betray the young and value loving community that built it just like OnePlus did? Well, here is the encouraging part, because after all the reviews that Phone 3 received, it looked like Carl Pei having lived through OnePlus strategy, recognizing the danger fast, because right after the premium Phone 3 stumble, Nothing stepped back to its sweet spot and launched Phone 4 series right back in the mid-premium range around 34,000 rupees. And the results, Nothing's Phone A Pro reportedly beat its internal sales target by 150% in its first week. So the honest verdict is this: the premium flagship was a fumble that only halfly landed, but Nothing seems self-aware enough to not abandon the segment that actually made it successful. It's testing the premium water without drowning in them. So this brings us to the biggest question of all: can Nothing really make it? And the answer is yes. Nothing is the fastest growing brand in India, but let's keep the perspective. Globally, Nothing ships around 4 to 5 million phones every single year, which sounds like a lot until you realize that's just 0.5% of global smartphone market. And if you look at Apple ships that many phones in roughly 9 days. So Nothing is still a tiny fish in a giant ocean, and it's betting almost everything on India. India is already its biggest market, and Carl Pei had said something about it, that India today stands where China was decades ago. But he has opened Nothing's first store in Bangalore, and through its CMF sub-brand, it's setting up local manufacturing in India through a partnership with Optimus. So Nothing's entire future may be well decided on Indian soil. But here is the terrifying threat. The same brutal Indian market had killed Micromax. LG is now watching Nothing grow. And when Xiaomi and Samsung feel genuinely threatened, they can unleash a weapon that Nothing cannot match. And that is the price crush. They can flood the market with Redmi and Galaxy's M series phone packed with the better specs at the lower price, and simply bleed a small challenger dry. This specs and price warfare is exactly what wiped out the graveyard of brands we started with. So for now, Nothing stands at the razor's edge. It has already done near impossible task, that is, it survived the phase where almost every challenger's die and built a genuine cult brand. But now it faces the hardest challenge of all, scaling from the small and beloved cult brand into the large and mainstream one. That too without losing the very soul, the design, the community and the anti-establishment identity that made it special at the first place. And for today, that's all from my side. If you learn something very valuable from this case study, then please make sure to share this episode with your friends and family, and I'll see you in the next one.